Hola amigos, una vez más con ustedes vuestro reportero espiritual. Once again with you, your spiritual reporter. Today I want to talk to you about reborn and about the calling, because as you know, everybody is called, but only very few hear the calling. Maybe like in the Bible, in the Apocalypse says, there is only 1,440 are the one who hear that call. And well, how come? Once Jesus says to Nicodemus, well, you have to reborn again to see the kingdom of God. Only when you have reborn, you can see the kingdom of God. What does it mean, really? Does it mean that after you're reborn, you can see and get into that circle of people who is aware about what's going on in the world? Maybe. And about those type of people who has reborn, we have some examples. The most open and more clear was Lady Diana. She was reborn. And many other people. I believe I also was reborn. Since once I attempt with my life here, just here in this balcony. And then in that very moment, I wasn't very strong to jump out. So I asked, please, God, help me. Well, I say God because I grew up as Christian. But if I was Jewish, I maybe would have been saying, oh Jehovah, please help me. Or if I was Muslim, I would have been saying, Allah, please help me. Anyway, I call for God's help. And a couple of strong impressions come into my mind, and I realize, my God, what I'm doing, I'm literally trying to throw my life through the window. But then other things come into my mind, and that was a teacher or a master I have, Carlos Barter, maybe some of you know him, and I hear from him once. He says, well, look, you can dedicate yourself to spiritual things only when you have resolved your basic needs. I mean, a place to live, clothes to wear, and food to eat. It is like not only after you can, but it's in a way I realize in that very moment it's a must. And then, wow, the whole thing changed in my mind, and I thought about all those thousands of people in Africa and in South America who don't have anything, and they're so much happier than how I was, just trying to throw my life through the window. So then I also understood what I read in the Course in Miracles when it says depressions and all sickness are ego sickness, ego problems. And well, somehow if I'm here, probably it's because I'm reborn, and I'm trying to call attention to people to create a strong force that could liberate of this, like I said yesterday, globalized immorality, because it is like that. I mean, this immorality is worse than ever in the whole history, because now it's globalized. Well, maybe you're not agree with me, but to change subjects, I want to talk about this new economic system who is ruling us right now. Ruling us or ruining us, who knows? They are very close one to each other. And that's what free markets, ruling or ruining. It can be resumed in one of those expressions that says, an American expression that says, the road to hell is very well maintained and the travelers are paying the costs. And well, I think that's what's happening right now. and the new economic system, which is based on privatizations, which means separations, doesn't have nothing to do with union or public enterprises or community or solidarity, because right now what's really ruling this world is economy. How? Well, I think I can explain it from the point of that every culture is based on religion. The Jewish culture, the Christian culture, the Muslim culture are basically a religion, and then they become a culture, and all of them, they have a certain amount of moral values, like love, like justice, like solidarity, like compassion. They're all almost the same. And the three biggest religions, like Jewish, Christian, and Muslim, we have quite a few things in common. First, we believe 10 of us in one God. We believe and we follow 10 of us the 10 commandments. We believe 3 of them in angels. That's why my figure. And, well, they also believe in prayer, which is the way to relate with the divine. Doesn't matter if it is called Jehovah, God, or Allah. However, it's the same thing. And, well, but there is now a new culture which is ruling the world, as you know, and that's the American culture. And the American culture doesn't have a real God, because they make a God out of money. And the only religion who is ruling is economy, which is very, very unhuman. And that's why I dare to say that is the Antichrist in action. Maybe you're not agree with me, but however, I ask myself how people can believe that a private company can be better than a public. If it is private, that means an owner who wants to be rich. And, excuse me, not only the owner, but the director of personnel, the director of production, the director of everyone want to be rich. So, we will have to work a lot harder now. We have to make these people rich. Before, we didn't have them in the way, but okay. So, what will happen? Nobody will take care of the infrastructure of those companies, because they all just want to be rich. And, yeah, the prices will go high, and the quality will go down. That's logic. That's basic logic. 1 + 1 is 2. And so is it. So, the liberation of the market is just the liberation of some people to pay themselves salaries that make us sweat the whole day long. In the meantime, all these public companies that became private, in many cases, especially basic service, they became a monopoly. And nobody says nothing when the monopolies, they were forbidden in the 1800th century. So, excuse me, what's this? And they didn't ask me to sell all this basic service, which they were public companies. Now, if I get too late with the bill of the telephone, 10, 15 days, I get a fine of half of the same as the amount that I have to pay. The administration cost you, in euros, 12, 15, or 40, depending how great and how many lawyers are working in this company. They put their prices. And who can say anything about it? Nobody. In the meantime, these neoliberal big egos are just thinking in terms of money. Yesterday I mentioned the weapon industry for the spiritual union is something that is illegal, declared illegal. We don't need those international tribunals. We need to stop creating weapons,